Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. So, today is vlog time. I have another thing that I wanted to talk about for a vlog, and this is going to be a long vlog. I'm just preparing you. It's basically me talking to the camera, talking to you all basically through the camera. So, be prepared for a lot of talking. So if that bores you, I apologize. You can move on, wait for another video of mine. But I just kind of wanted to update you all on a lot of things related to my life in a way, because I think so much is changing, so much is about to happen, so much is happening, and I just want to, keep you guys alongside me on this journey as well, and to kind of explain a little bit too, because I know stuff keeps coming up and getting in the way of me filming reviews. And it's frustrating me, I know, because it's probably frustrating you all because you want to see more reviews, and I really want to make more reviews, but it's just taking a little bit longer to get to those for multiple reasons. So a couple things I want to talk about, and the first thing I want to talk about will kind of explain the bit of a delay as well, and that is that, for those that don't know, I mean, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you've probably noticed this. I've been going bald. That's no secret at all. Some people in the comments love to point that out. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I already know that. It's no surprise at all. And basically, last year I made the decision to do a hair transplant procedure. And it was just something that, I looked at all the risks and everything, and just the cost and how, what was involved with it. And it just seemed like that it would be something that would be worth it, and not too big of a procedure, I guess, and something that would make me more happy in a way. Not that I'm happy with myself and with life, but it was just something that since I was able to do it and I wanted to myself, I figured I would go for it. And so I actually vlogged about it last year, so you can go back last year and see my vlogs. And the way that the procedure works is they actually take out hair from the back of your head and transplant it up top. And so there's different methods of doing it. There's some methods where they'll leave a scar because they'll kind of cut it and do all that stuff. I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want any scars, nothing invasive. So I did a robotic method where they use a little machine that kind of just sucks out the grafts of hair, and then they have the people actually physically transplant it on your head, and they numb it, and it's a big procedure. Depending on how many grafts of hair they take out and put up here, it can last anywhere from an hour or two to 4 hours. I mean, it just depends, and it's something that because the hair on the back of your head and like the sides of your head is like your permanent hair. So the top of your head, if you're ever going to go bald, it's going to be at the top. The hair in the back, you won't lose it. It's your permanent hair. And so what they're doing is they're taking the permanent hair and sticking it up top. And so, so for that reason, assuming that everything goes well, it should theoretically grow because it's your permanent hair. It's just, instead of being back here, it's up here. So it's going to be slightly thinned in the back, but not noticeable. And so I did 2 rounds of it. I did it last May, I think the very end of May. I did like 1,000 grafts of hair, and then I did 2,000 grafts of hair last August, I think. And it takes a few months, anywhere up to 6 months to start to notice, some difference, and then they say like 1.5 years to really fully get the full growth and stuff. So it's a long wait, and it had been a year since the first procedure. Now it's June, so it's been a year since the first procedure, and I've seen some results. I've noticed it, but I was wanting more, and I consulted my doctor, and they decided to do a 3rd round of the hair transplant procedure. So a couple days ago, last Thursday, June 4th, I did a 3rd round of the procedure, and that's why I'm wearing a cap right now. And it basically, they did another at least 2,000 grafts, maybe a bit more too. So it was a pretty big procedure. In terms of like the amount of hair and all that stuff and everything. So I have my cap on because otherwise you'll see all the little pieces, like hair, all the grafts of hair, all the scabs and stuff. And the back of my head, like they shaved off all that hair and took out pieces of it. So it's not a pretty sight. But if there's any of you that are curious about a hair transplant procedure and you want to know what it's all about, what I will do is at the end of this video, I will show you footage of what it looks like. So if that's something that, like, if you don't like to see things that are a little disgusting because there's a lot of scabs and dried blood, if you don't want to see that, I'll warn you before that ever happens, so don't worry. But if you are interested and you do want to see it, because I do want to document that for you all, then I'll show you at the end of this video, so just FYI. But anyway, so I'm just going to wear the cap in the meantime for that. Yeah, I mean, so the past few days I've just kind of been resting and recovering a little bit, so really short recovery time, relatively speaking, but then like for the first week, like I can't like shower directly on it, and I have to like kind of use a little bucket of water and, you know, slowly be careful with it, shampoo lightly and things like that. So it's kind of something that like for a couple of days, I didn't want to like overexert myself with stuff, so I couldn't record many reviews. So that's why it's kind of pushed me back a little bit. But I feel like I'm pretty much back in business, you know, aside from having to wear the cap in front of the camera. So I'm excited to hopefully this week get back to doing more reviews. So more stuff is coming. But, you know, I wanted to take this time, and I wanted to do this earlier, but I wanted to talk about my graduation and just what's coming up in life and all that. And I wanted to make this vlog around graduation time. But then, as you know, as I've talked about earlier, I got sick for like 2 weeks. And I was just coughing, and it was miserable. And then after a couple days after that, I had this procedure. So it's just been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But I wanted to talk all about that, you know. So that's why it's going to be, you know, pretty long of a vlog. But so graduation, right? I have officially graduated and gotten my bachelor's degree. Well, I actually haven't. The degree is going to come in the mail in a couple weeks, but like officially, I've graduated, you know. And so this has been a big step for me. I mean, this is something that I've looked forward to for my entire life, in a way, you know? School has just always been there. I've always been in school ever since preschool, you know, really. So it's something that, you know, once you graduate, I mean, you graduate from high school, it's a big deal. You go to college, absolutely. But your college graduation is like, that's it. Although, I mean, I am thinking about getting my master's, like, you know, maybe next year or something. So I'm not fully done with school, but for all intents and purposes, I mean, I'm done, you know, essentially with the main education path that I was kind of going on. And it's an interesting feeling. It's definitely, I feel very relieved about it, but I feel very thankful for it because it's been such a long journey. And it's something that, for those that know me personally, or you might know more about me, it really has been a big journey. And I actually, so when I got out of high school, I went to a university, Virginia Commonwealth University, and so it was away from home, about a couple hours drive. So I lived on campus, or really in an apartment building, like right off campus. And I was a chemistry major. I liked chemistry in high school. I was like, all right, I'll be a chemistry major, and I was doing pre-med. Because it was something that, you know, medicine kind of interested me, but I was like, you know what, let's try this out, see how it goes. Yeah, that didn't, you know, work out the best, I guess. It's something where I found that, you know, I liked chemistry, but then when you get into organic chemistry and physical chemistry and quantitative analysis and all this other stuff, I was, oh my goodness, no, too much for me. It's something that, it's a lot of memorization, and I'm a much more hands-on kind of person, you know, like when you just have to give me a lot of stuff to memorize, it's difficult. I need to be doing it. I need to be practicing it. I need hands-on stuff, you know. That's what I'm interested in. That's how I learn. And it was a struggle to kind of figure all that out. Took a little while to kind of figure all that out. And ultimately, you know, I was at VCU for 4 years, and typically you get your bachelor's degree in 4 years. But after the end of 4 years, I had another year, basically. I was going to become a super senior, I guess. So it would have taken me 5 years to kind of finish up that whole chemistry major. But after the 4th year, I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And I tried to decide what to do. And because things were taking so long, I decided to move back home and go to a community college nearby so I could at least get my associate's degree. And so what I decided to do, so when I was doing pre-med, I was actually interning at a doctor's office, and I really liked what I was doing there because, I mean, I was shadowing the physicians, but they were like, are you any good with computers? I was like, sure, I can use a computer. And they taught me their electronic medical record system. And over time, I started to learn more about the system. Then I started to actually work closely with the nurses and physicians on it. I started to do the training for it, the support. I mean, I really started to take on this electronic medical record system, this EMR system, and I really liked it. It was an interesting field. It's like IT, but like, the health field combined. It's health IT, and it's very fresh and interesting. And I really liked what I was doing there. So I thought, you know what? I want to do this as my career. And my experience at that doctor's office kind of made me switch from chemistry to that. And that doctor's office, by the way, I'm still there. I've been there 7 years now. And I've learned so much from that job. And it's something that, so I switched. I came back home, and then I got my associate's degree in computer science. And from there, I went to George Washington University, and I got my bachelor's degree in integrated information science and technology. And I remember that whole time of going to VCU as chemistry, then coming back and getting my associates, and then applying, to kind of finish up my bachelor's. There was so much happening, and it was a time where I was like doubting myself. I was so confused with what I wanted. I mean, there was just so much going on, and it's hard because, when you're switching majors and things are taking so long, it's a time when you see all your friends graduating and you're still in school, and it's disheartening a little bit, and it gets you down, and I could see it. And then, you have, of course, your family and friends are there too, and they're like, when are you going to graduate? What's going on? And it gets to you, and it's something that, for a while, it kind of sucked, but then I tried to use that as motivation. And I focused my energy on making sure that I ended everything the way that I wanted it to, ultimately, if it takes me however long to finish, who cares? As long as I finish and I do what I want to do and what I'm happy with. And that kind of focus got me to George Washington University, which when I was first applying for schools, honestly, I never thought I would be able to get into GW. And not only did I get into George Washington, the program I was in was perfect because they offered like evening classes so I could work during the day. And it was a cohort-based program, so I was in classes with the same group of students the 2 years that I was there. So like we became like a close group of friends, and it's an experience that I will never forget. And it's something that, like, when you're in that group together, everybody motivates each other, And I went into GW with the attitude of, I'm gonna kick butt. Like, this is my time to shine. You know what I mean? Like, I went in there knowing I'm gonna rock this, and I'm proud to say that I feel like I did. I got almost all A's and A minuses. There were like one or two. I think there was one B plus and one B minus, I think, and that B minus like killed me inside. I like hated myself for getting a B minus, just because like that dropped my GPA a little bit. Like I was like, no, I have to be doing so good. And that focus got me through it. And I'm proud to say that I graduated with a GPA of 3.83, which is, if you know the statuses they have, like cum laude, magna cum laude, summa cum laude. So I got summa cum laude status, which is like the highest, I guess, honor in a way. And so, I rocked it, and I'm proud of myself for that. Like, I feel like I'm not trying to like brag, but like after going through, all this time and trying to figure out what I wanted and getting to GW, I was so happy with what happened, and I was really excited about that. And so that's why graduation to me was such a big moment too, because it was like a culmination of all of my hard work and all this time and energy that I put into school and my education, and finally it all came to fruition, and I was really excited about that. And ultimately it took me 8 years to get my bachelor's degree, and most people it takes them 4, sometimes 5 years, but 8 years is a long time. But you know what? I am proud of myself for finishing, because it's something that not everybody's able to go to college, or not everybody's able to go through all this stuff. And I feel like, I don't know if any, how many of you are religious or what, but, ultimately, it was the path that God put me on, and it's, I went to VCU knowing one thing, but I ended up graduating from George Washington University, summa cum laude. It's something that, like, ultimately, I think I ended up where I needed to end up, and I'm happy for that. I'm thankful for that. And I thank God, I thank my family, I thank my friends, I thank everybody. It was a big moment, and it's not something that I could have done on my own, because the fact of the matter is, there's so many times in life, in school, and in any situation where things get tough, and it's very easy to get bogged down with that. But knowing that you have that end goal in mind and you have people there to support you, that helps tremendously. I mean, tremendously. And my family has always been there for me. Obviously, when I'm switching majors and this and that, they're like disappointed because it's like, why is it taking so long and you're wasting your time and everything. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think they were happy with my decision because they saw the potential that I had. They saw what I was happy with. And I know that they're so proud of me now for graduating. And I think that part of the reason why I was able to make it is because of them pushing me to do even better, and so I am absolutely thankful for my family. My friends as well. Seriously, when I was at VCU too, even though I was a chemistry major and all this other stuff, just living away from home for a little while was such an experience that taught me so much, and I feel like it really made me the person that I am today. And it sounds a little cheesy in a way, I guess, but it's like when you're taken out of your element and you have to make decisions on your own, that's when you really decide who you are as a person, because it's something that, like, my parents, all my life have been telling me, like, don't do this, don't do that, but then, do this, do that. Like, it's always, this is what's good, this is what's bad, and it's in your mind, right? Like, that's how you learn, that's how you're taught. But then in the real world, how do you apply that? Do you really apply those in those situations? Do you just ignore those? Like, what kind of a person do you become? And, there are times when I go out with friends and in college or whatever, and they're like, hey, have a drink. And I'm like, no, I don't drink. And they're like, why not? It's just one little drink. I'm like, no, I don't do that. And ultimately, they respected that because they saw that was my decision. And it's something that, like I can say that I have never smoked, I've never drank alcohol, I've never done drugs. That's not me. And it's something that I decided on my own, for religious reasons, for multiple reasons, but, it's things like that, like, these are the types of decisions that influence who you are as a person. And you learn to interact with so many different types of people in a college environment too, because, it's one thing to be in your own little home, your own little area, but once you go out of that, you meet all kinds of people, and you really have to, you're put in all kinds of different situations, and you have to learn to adapt to those, and it's something that it takes a little while, but ultimately you realize the type of person that you want to be, and for me, I realized that, like, I want to be the type of person that I work hard and do what I have to do. I do my job, I work hard, and I want to make people proud, make people happy, and it's something that if I'm given a task to do, I want to give that my full attention and do really well with it. I want to do something quality. But then I also want to make people happy. And I love being able to interact with other people. And part of the reason why I do these videos is because of that, because I make these reviews or vlogs or Pentatonics reaction videos or whatever, and people seem to enjoy it. And that makes me happy too. And I also, honestly, I have to thank you all, the people that watch my videos, because through everything, one of the things that has kept me going is these videos, and it's because of your comments. Everybody's going to get some sort of negative comments, but overwhelmingly throughout all my videos, I've gotten positive comments on stuff, and that has been amazing to me, and I truly appreciate that, because it's one thing where, when life gets tough, And sometimes you feel like you're alone, but you're not alone, really, you know, but sometimes you feel that way. But then to go and make this video and put yourself out there, and then to have people like say, you know, congrats on this, or this was great, nice job, or you know, I really like your stuff, like, it gives you that boost of confidence. And having that confidence is something that has tremendously helped me in life. I mean, seriously, years ago, I didn't have much confidence really in myself, and it was something where, yeah, I mean, I'd go through life, I'd do what I had to do, but like, I didn't truly believe that I was capable of like doing good quality stuff. But making these videos and just everything else that I've done has helped me tremendously. At my job too, my coworkers have been absolutely amazing, because I mean, I go there and I try and do my job and I try and do it well, and people have given me feedback that I've done a good job, and people, you know, come and thank me for that. And I guess, you know, sometimes I'm the go-to person to ask for questions on the electronic medical record system, and it makes you feel appreciated, and it makes you feel like you're doing something right. And you know, just this whole experience of going through school, graduation, everything. I mean, it's all been this whole combination of everything. And I feel like now that I've graduated, I feel confident enough to move on to the next step in life. You know, like, I feel like I'm ready, and it's something that this was like a big test for me. This was a way for me to challenge myself and to decide who I want to be as a person and decide how I want to live my life. And I feel like I have all these questions answered. Like, in a way, it's funny now, because now that I'm done with school, if I ever encounter certain stressful situations, like let's say at work, for example, it doesn't bother me as much as it would in the past, because it's something that it's weird. It's like, you know, if I'm ever stressed out, I'm like, you know what? It's okay, because I'm going to get through this, and then I know, you know, this is how I want to live my life. I have like this whole vision in my mind of what I want my life to be, and I mean, it's okay, and I get through it, and it's because of this accomplishment that I've been able to do. So yeah, just enough rambling about that, but I feel just really thankful to have been able to go through this experience, been able to graduate, and my family, my friends, my coworkers, all of you. I mean, seriously, thank you all so much for supporting me through all of this, and just giving me the confidence that I need. And it feels weird to say that, like, you know, sometimes people imagine the people that get in front of a camera are like the most social, the most confident people out there, but I mean, there are times when, I mean, seriously, I mean, I don't have that confidence. I mean, more in the past, but, you know, or I don't know. Like, it's funny how in front of the camera people get this appearance of you, but this is for like 15, 20 minutes. I do this video, and then what about the rest of my life, you know? But doing these videos and seeing your feedback has made me understand more about myself and appreciate more about myself, and made me happy with myself too. And it's something that, like, despite what people may say, whatever negativity is out there, I'm happy with myself. I'm proud of myself for what I've done. And, you know, now I actually feel like, you know, when I wake up in the morning, if I ever go out with friends, like, I actually feel like, you know, dressing up nicely, getting a nice shirt, you know, not just wearing some random t-shirt sometimes, although, I mean, sometimes I do, but, like, you know, I feel like dressing up nicely, and, I mean, it might sound silly to some of you. I don't know if everybody's going to understand what I'm saying. Some of you may think I'm crazy. I don't know. But I hope that some of you understand what I'm saying. And even things like, it's so silly to even say this, and I feel like some people are not going to understand what I'm saying, but even something as silly as the Apple Watch, right? This was a graduation gift from my parents, and for that, it's something special to me. But so it's, in a way, it's a reminder. Every time I see this, it's like a reminder of what I've accomplished, you know? But I legitimately like it. I think it looks nice. Not everybody will agree with me. That's totally fine. But, like, when I see this, I think it looks slick, and I think it looks nice, and it makes me, you know, feel good. I mean, a watch, in a way, it's a piece of jewelry, right? I mean, people wear nice clothes, you know, ladies wear, you know, necklaces and earrings and all this. I mean, like, people, you know, that's what people dress up to look nice and feel good about themselves, right? I mean, for me, you know, wearing a nice shirt, the watch, I mean, it's like, I feel like I want to look nice now. I want to represent myself well because like I've gone through so much, I've accomplished so much, and now I'm proud of myself. I feel confident in myself, and I feel like I can actually represent myself well now in public. And I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm talking in crazy terms or not, but yeah, I feel good about myself. I feel happy in a way, and part of it is the hair transplant procedure too. I mean, if I hadn't done it, okay, that's fine. I mean, great, but I hope that ultimately this whole procedure will be worth it, and I want to be even happier with myself, I guess. And just looking ahead in life. So the last topic that I'm going to talk about, I know this is already a super long vlog, so if you stuck with me so far, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But looking ahead, right now that I've graduated, what do I want to do? Well, I'm working full-time now at that doctor's office. They offered me a full-time position, so immediately I've been working full-time, so there's that. Looking ahead, I want to do my master's probably next year. I just have to decide where to do my master's, what master's degree, all that kind of stuff. But like, I mean, ahead, right? The next step in life for me, I've always thought about it, it's starting a family, and it's something where school, in my culture too, I mean, everybody, you get teased about that sometimes too. It's like, when are you getting married, right? Any brown person's going to know what I'm talking about. And it's funny, actually, at my graduation party, just as much as I got congratulated about graduating, I got people asking me when I'm going to be getting married. And so it's just funny that way. I mean, that's our culture. But I mean, my answer has always been, let me finish school and then we'll, move in that direction. And I'm done with school. So, and I feel like I'm ready for it. And it feels a little weird to say that kind of because, I don't know, it just feels a little weird to say that, but I feel like I'm ready. And I feel like that maybe because I feel like I know who I am as a person. I feel like I know what I want in life, and I feel like I'm ready to take the next step in life. I'm ready to move on, move forward in life. And so in our culture, by the way, so to kind of get into the whole marriage thing, in our culture, we do, well, okay, I'll just say arranged marriages. But I always hesitate to use that phrase because every time, usually when most people hear arranged marriages, they imagine like somebody being forced into a marriage, which is not at all true at all. The concept of the arranged marriage in our culture as a Muslim, and in the Pakistani culture in general as well, it's more your families are a part of the whole process. And in a way, it's when I say arranged marriage, I mean my parents will try and find somebody for me, but then they come to me and they ask me what I think. And if I say no, then no, done. It's done right then and there. But if I say yes, then we proceed forward and we talk to the other person's family. It's like the families are involved. And, I talk to, the girl, of course, and we have our conversations, we get to know each other, but it's, the families get to know each other too. And it's something where, because our culture is all about family too, and that's pretty important to me, it's like the families are involved in the dating process, kind of, that if you want to call it that, I guess. But at the same time, if I were to find somebody, that's totally acceptable too in our culture. It's just, I would talk to my parents about it and involve them, and then they would involve the other person's family, and it goes through the families basically. And ultimately, I think it ends up working out. I mean, there are studies out there, there's statistics out there that these types of marriages actually end up lasting longer because when you're put in the situations with your families there, I mean, you have your families involved to give advice and to help out, but then also, it's been shown that these types of people are more willing to work things out when issues come up, rather than you get in this other mindset of, oh, if it doesn't work out, let's get a divorce, find somebody else. No, that's, I do not want a divorce. Like, I want to be happy in my marriage and all of that, So it's something where families are involved in the whole process, and it's something I've been talking to my family, and I think pretty soon they're going to start that whole process, and it's going to be looking for a girl, looking for somebody that is right for me, and I will have full control over that too. And my parents have asked me a little bit too about what I want in somebody, and so far my initial requirements are pretty simple. I mean, my initial requirements are somebody that's open-minded, somebody that's understanding, and somebody that is not going to see my hobbies, my Power Rangers collection, or my love for pentatonics and be like get over it, no, that's not acceptable, because I think everybody can have their own interests, and I don't expect them to like the same stuff I do. If they do, great. If they don't, great. But you have to be understanding of each other, things like that. I mean, I'm more about, everybody of course wants to have somebody that looks nice and stuff, but I think personality is a huge thing for me. And it's because it's really telling of the type of person that you are. I mean, you could be like the best looking person in the world and have a terrible personality. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with you, because the personality is what's going to get you through it. I mean, that's, what you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life, the person's personality. So, I mean, all that stuff is in the future, but it's stuff that I'm thinking about now. It's something that's going forward in life. I mean, that's the next steps that I see. Eventually, finding somebody, hopefully somebody, good for me, and getting married, starting a family. I mean, I'm thinking long term, but that's what I got to do now. I'm done with school, at least, unless I get my master's degree. But, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm done with the main course of my education. And now it's looking ahead to what's next. And what's next in life is a family. And I'm the type of person that, I always want something nice and stable, something solid. Sometimes people have asked me, why don't you try and make videos full time, or why don't you... at one point in my life, I thought about doing something music related full time, or I don't even know. But it's stuff that, while I enjoy these things, I enjoy them more as a side thing, because I want something truly solid and stable in my long-term life. It's something that, some people like to be in a city or travel around a lot. I mean, I enjoy those things, but more as a hobby kind of a thing. Or when I was at Virginia Commonwealth University, it was in a city. And I enjoyed that aspect of it, being able to walk to different places. But it's not something that I would be there long term, because it's not the type of environment that I would want to be in long term. I'm more of the type of guy that's in the suburbs, It's just, I just want a nice, solid, stable life, have a nice family. It sounds kind of basic, pretty cookie cutter in a way, but that's what I enjoy, those things are what I get enjoyment out of. And what excites me in life now, looking ahead, before it was, graduating, getting my degree, getting these accomplishments. Now, looking ahead in life, what excites me is finding somebody that's right for me, and eventually getting married, starting a family. These things, I see it around me happening. I see other family members either getting engaged, getting married, having kids. That is what I'm starting to want now, because I see that happening in the future, and that's where my life is headed, I guess. That's where I'm going, and that's I'm a family man. That's truly how it is. It's something that I've always loved. It's something that I feel like I've always kind of wanted, and it's just interesting having some conversations because everybody's different. Everybody has different things they're looking for, and one of my good friends is almost like the opposite in some senses too, and it's interesting how other people have different perspectives on life too. Some people are like, I'm not getting married until much later or whatever. Some people are like, oh, why are you rushing? Enjoy being single. Enjoy this. Enjoy. I'm like, look, I'm not rushing into anything. This is what I want in life, and it's something that I'm looking forward to, the next steps in life, and I'm looking forward to, just everything, having a family, just having more people in my life in a way, once I've graduated and I've accomplished so much for myself, but being able to then provide for other people is a big thing too. And now, especially now that I'm graduating, trying to take more responsibilities at home as well for my family. It's something that like it makes me at least feel like this is my responsibility as a person, you know, as a man. This is what I want to do. I guess it's very traditional in a way, and that's my thoughts behind it. So yeah, I mean, I hope that made sense. I've talked for long enough. I feel like this is a really long vlog, but it's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about for so long because it's just reflecting on the past and what I've gone through. It's currently, you know, what's been happening, all the accomplishments that, you know, that have finally, you know, happened, and then just looking ahead for what's coming up. And it's just so much going on, so many changes in life, and it's exciting though. And I hope to continue to bring you all with me on that journey if you want to come along, and I hope that you do. So I hope that you stick with me, and I'll continue to make more reviews and do all that fun stuff, but I'll continue to vlog my life too, and bring you all with me, and see, you know, what happens next. So anyways, that's the end of this vlog all about my life. I know it was super long, but yeah, just wanted to do that. So the last thing is if anybody wants to see the whole hair transplant thing, I'm gonna jump to like the little end credits thing that I always have, and then after that, if you want to stick around, you can see all the what it actually looks like under the cap, if that doesn't disgust you or anything. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. So listen guys, I just want to say one more time, I know I've said it enough in the video, but seriously, thank you all so much for everything. I mean, you all have really changed my life in a way. I mean, my family, my friends, just my faith, just everything has gotten me through so much, but you all too have helped me tremendously in just so many different things. I mean, you all have given me the confidence in life to be more open about stuff, and in a way, doing these videos helps me kind of express the emotions that I'm thinking, and I don't usually get to do that, and it really helps me too, and it's helped me become a better speaker too, in a way, and more outgoing, and you know, before I'd be really shy if people asked me something, but I feel like now I can talk to people more, and I can socialize more, and I attribute that to more of making videos for you all, and your comments and your feedback. So seriously, you all have been instrumental in my life, and I thank you all so much for that. So I appreciate all of the support so much. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That being said, you know, I'm far from done. Lots more stuff on the way, so get ready, stay tuned for all of that. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Lots more on the way. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Alright, if you're watching this part of the video, warning, this is the very end of the video where I'm going to take off my cap and show you what the hair transplant procedure looks like. This is 3 days after the procedure. I got it done on Thursday. Today is Sunday. So just FYI, it is not for the faint of heart in a way, because there's a lot of scabs and dried blood and stuff, so I don't want to scare anybody away, but I'm just letting you know, fair warning. Alright, so I'm taking off the cap. So first of all, let's take this off. That's, well, partly hair there, but if you see, those are all the grafts of hair that they kind of transplanted on there, and there's like a whole bunch of scabs and stuff too. So that will all come off over the next few days as I continue to shower and do all that stuff. But yeah, so what they did is in the back of my head, let's see if you can you see that? They basically took out, I hope you guys can even see that. They took out a whole bunch of the hair, and then they didn't take out all that hair because they had to shave off part of it too, just to get to some of it. But they took off like little pieces of hair all over there, and then they transplanted it up top, like right there. So hopefully you guys can see all that. Yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like basically. So it looks a little weird from the sides and stuff too. But yeah, so that's how it is. Over the next few days, as I kind of shower and shampoo and all that, like the scabs and stuff will slowly start to go away, and it'll be fine. And then, you know, within a week or two, it'll be normal, and slowly my hair will grow back, and then you won't even know. Because like I said, I've actually done the hair transplant. Can't talk. The hair transplant procedure twice already last year. So if you've been watching my videos for the past year, you've seen me on camera you wouldn't, well, maybe you would have known, or you might not have known that I've even gotten the procedure. So, but yeah, anyways, that's how it is right now, and that's that. So I hope I didn't scare you guys too much, but anyways, again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will keep you guys posted on all this stuff too as things progress, and let you know how it goes, and hopefully as I continue to make more videos, you'll see progress, and you'll see for yourselves how things go. We'll see. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.